All right, we're joined by former RNC Chairman Michael Steele. Nice to see you, sir.
It's good to be with you, man.
What do you think of the debate tonight?
I thought it was quiet. I thought it was much more subdued and low-key. And I thought that, it was clear Newt and Mitt were sort of doing that dance with each other. Mitt was more of the aggressor, surprisingly. And I don't know yet how effective it was. Similarly, Newt played down his aggressiveness, and I don't know how effective that will be in terms of how the audience sees it. But I thought in terms of conveying a message, there were opportunities to do that. Some of that was missed. I thought Santorum came the closest tonight with sort of hitting on some of the salient points that he needed to hit on. And of course, Ron Paul was always very clear. I love the exchange with Newt, where he kind of said, I still need to work on this guy and get him up to speed on the foreign policy stuff. It had light moments like that, but overall I thought it was a much slower debate, a much, I don't want to say boring, but it didn't titillate.
A lower key.
Lower key. Lower key.
And was it more civil?
Yeah, I think as you define civil, but yeah, I think it was. I think it was an interesting sort of opportunity for the candidates. But I think people kind of, after 18 debates, have kind of gotten used to sort of the vibrancy of past debates and sort of having that sort of tit-for-tat exchange, the audience feedback, immediate feedback to what's said or not said. And so I think it took a little bit of the sting out of it for some of the candidates. They didn't, even though, Mitt hit, I don't think he hit as hard as he probably would have if the audience were kind of in there kind of gunning with him. And the same for Newt. So I think, again, even though you had those dynamic moments that exchanged, particularly in the first 30 minutes, it didn't really feel as fiery as it may have sounded.
They actually agreed with each other on a couple of issues.
Yeah, and that's good. Everyone likes that. But I still think there was one of those things where people watching it probably walked away feeling, is that it? And probably sent out for pizza or something. I don't know.
What do you think of the overall field this year, Republican presidential candidates?
I've always said any individual who wakes up, goes to their family, and gets permission from them to run for president of the United States should be applauded. I never want to find myself, or nor should anyone else find themselves in the position of questioning your decision like that. It's a very personal decision for the individual and the family. So, they get out, they want to run that gauntlet, they want to make their case to the people. You don't have to support them, but you certainly shouldn't tear them down, and I've not appreciated the tenor and tone of so many of the leaders, so-called leaders in the party, who've taken at whacking at our candidates, really providing the kind of fodder that the Democrats will use in spades this fall against that individual who emerges. So, I respect the choice to run, and I respect the decision to put it on the line. And, I'll battle you over your ideas, but I'll never second guess or question your qualifications or skills to be in the race. That's a judgment that, the voters will decide when they go to the ballot boxes whether or not you qualify in their eyes. But to sit back and be a talking head on that and to propound profusely, ideas to the contrary about their candidacy, to me is a little ridiculous.
2010 was a particularly strong year for Republicans.
Yeah.
How is 2012 shaping up right now?
I think it's a great year. I think the issues are with us. I think the arguments still need to be made, though. I don't think the party nationally has done an effective job of laying down the predicate argument against this administration. It certainly is not a personal argument. It's one that basically speaks to the difference between a government-run healthcare system, a government-controlled business environment. Those types of things that the government seems to want to insert itself into over the last few years, versus a freer market, respecting individual decisions to run their businesses a certain way, and creating those incentives for them to do that. And I think that's a very valid debate. I just don't think we've laid down the predicate argument yet, and I think that's why we found ourselves on the wrong side of the tax question, as we saw recently. I think that's why we found ourselves coming off against anti-blue collar workers, union or non-union. So it's just not a good spot for the party to be in from that standpoint, and it misses the opportunity to really capitalize on the failures of this administration to create the jobs.
Is it too late to change course?
No, I don't think so, and I think that certainly as this field gets smaller, those arguments may become a little bit more crystallized with one or two individuals who will become the nominee. But I think we've lost a lot of land, that advantage that we had coming into 2011. And certainly coming into 2012 have made that climb a little bit more difficult at times unnecessarily.
Michael Steele, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All righty, thank you.
Sir.